Hey guys, welcome back to the video. In today's video, I want to show you how we raised about $4 million and what's the pitch deck that we used to raise this. So throughout all our funding rounds, our pitch deck almost remained the same. So I'll be showing you one of the pitch decks that we used to raise about $3.5 million from Elevation and our existing investor Lightspeed and a bunch of these people. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind is that pitch deck is not the only thing that matters when you're raising a round. The most important thing that matters when you're raising a round is how good your product is. So your product has to be great. Your product has to be growing at a really fast pace, and that's usually the time when you should be going out and raising. Given that you have a great product, this is how you can sort of visually represent how your product looks like to investors. Now, there's no set formula as such. There are even founders who go completely without a pitch deck, just show a great product and raise. And there are also founders who make hundreds of slides on a pitch deck and are still not able to raise. So pitch deck is not the only way of raising. The most important part of raising is to have a great product that works and has users and is growing really fast. So make sure you keep that in mind. But here's the pitch deck that we used. I hope you like it, and let me know what you think about it. Also, on a side note, a lot of people reach out to me saying, hey, I want to raise funding, I want to connect to angel investors, I want to connect to VC firms and stuff like that, right? So a lot of you guys might have ideas. You might be college students who have some ideas, or you might be working professionals who are working on some startup idea or like a business idea. And often you need some amount of money to get started with. So over the weekend, my friends and I built this thing called myinvestorlist.com. It has over 1,000 plus angel investors from across India and a bunch of other places in the world who are ready to support and invest in other ideas. These are existing angel investors. So finding investors is a tough process. We've just simplified it for you. So in case you are someone who has any small idea and you need few lakhs to just experiment and see if you want to take that idea forward or not, and you can find investors through this platform. Check it out. I've given the link in the description down below. I hope it's helpful. All right, so while you're making a pitch deck, you should keep three things in mind. The first one is the team. So early stage investments are all about investing in the right team, right? So you should tell why you're the right founder, why your co-founder is the right person to sort of build this company, right? So if you have, say you're building an AI company and your co-founder has experience in AI, you should talk about that. If you're building a media company and you have experience in media, you should talk about that. And if you have no experience, even then you should be able to tell why you're the right person to go out and build that company and just prove that you have domain expertise. And the second thing to focus on is growth, right? So if you're any product that you're building, month on month, your revenue or your users should keep growing, right? So if you're building a social product, your user base should keep growing. Every month you should be adding new users. And in most cases, if you're building a startup, your revenue should also be growing every month, and you should be showing this hockey stick kind of graph. That's super, super ideal, right? And the third thing to focus on is the opportunity. So you should tell your investors, why do you think this company could one day generate $100 million in revenue or $1 billion in revenue? Why do you think that opportunity exists? These are the three main points that I would focus on. Let me show you a real life example of that. All right, so this was the pitch deck that we used for bluelearn. bluelearn was my previous startup. We had raised about $4 million in total for it. And it was India's largest student community for learning, earning, and networking. Now, the first slide was just a brief about who we were, right? So we had about 250,000 community members. We had about 9,500 colleges and companies, and 85% of all of this was built organically. So if you see, we focused on organically because a lot of people run ads to just boost up the numbers, but for us, most of them were organic. And this is sort of the screenshot that we had of the product. So I mentioned the big numbers first, right? This was the highest impact slide for us because the numbers were pretty large. Then we spoke about the problem, right? So we said that 6 million college students graduate every year. Most of them want tech jobs, but less than 25% get jobs. And we want to sort of bridge that gap and think of it as BITS, Pilani, or IIT, but for everyone, right? So that was our goal. And this was the problem we were sort of going after, to democratize opportunities for everyone. So we told them what our solution is. So we were making students more employable, and there were 3 steps to do that: exposure and explore, upskill and learn, and find a gig. Exposure through, like things which give them access to other smart people, events and stuff like that. Upskill because we had certain cohorts and a bunch of those things to learn design, tech, and skills like that. And we had India's second largest internship and freelancing marketplace. So from there you can find a job or an internship. So that's find a gig. So Then we focused on one of our core products, which is BL Work, which was like a hiring platform of sorts. We had over 5,000 companies hiring from us, over 200,000 applications, and it's just sort of details about that and a screenshot of how it looked like, and some deeper stats about what the match rate was, what was the repeat rate, all of that. It'll be different for your product, of course. And then we spoke about a social part. So bluelearn also had a social part to it, and then we broke it down into blue clubs. And there were project-based learning, there was discussion forum, challenges, meetups, mentorship. So we mentioned all of those things over here, and we also gave some stats around how many events we organized, how many messages were sent across the platform, and W8 is our week 8 retention of applicants. So this was an impressive stat because this means that a lot of users are retained on the app, and that's pretty important for social platforms. We also broke down our product, so just like something on these lines. And then we had this tagline, Gen Z love doing things together, so why not learning and earning be any different? Like, why not just do that in a community? Why should people sort of do it solo? And we just showed this current investors, and who the founders were. So during our initial rounds, we used to put this slide first because it was important to know who the founders were. And later on we started putting it at the end because most people knew who we were, or we had given introduction at the beginning of the call itself, so we didn't really see why it'll be important to put it at the beginning. That's pretty much it, guys. That was our pitch deck. I can make it public now because bluelearn doesn't exist, so here you go. Alright guys, that's pretty much it. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. I'll try my best to answer them. And also, if you want to check, if you're raising, if you want some angel investment of sorts, check out myinvestors.com. It's in the description down below. Share it with your friends. It was a weekend hack that me and my friends built it at, and I hope you like it. Bye. I'll see you in the next one.